Chosen one. An investigator has been quietly asking your friends, co-workers, neighbors, and everyone who actually knows you about your character, and your enemies are absolutely losing their minds because every single person had nothing but beautiful things to say about you. While these weirdos were busy spreading lies and paying bribes to destroy your reputation, the universe was collecting testimony that's about to expose them as the frauds they've always been and leave them facing criminal charges they never saw coming. Getting to this beautiful place required you to make one of the hardest decisions of your life, and your enemies are still bitter about it. You had to walk away from someone who seemed like they were supposed to be your person, what some call a twin flame connection. This person had a way of making you feel like you were meant to be together, like the universe itself had orchestrated your meeting. Little did you know, they were setting you up for the biggest betrayal of your life, and the evidence of their deception is about to come to light in the most unexpected way. The relationship became toxic in ways that left you questioning your own sanity. This person abused your trust, your energy, your love in ways that made you doubt your own judgment while making their behavior seem normal, even necessary. They knew exactly which buttons to push, exactly how to make you feel crazy for having normal reactions to their abnormal behavior. What you didn't realize then was that they were actually documenting your reactions, planning to use your emotional responses against you later. You also had to distance yourself from family dynamics that were actively draining your life force. Maybe it was relatives who never quite believed in your dreams, constantly questioning your decisions and making you second-guess yourself. Perhaps it was family members who always had something negative to say about your choices, acting like concern while actually undermining your confidence at every turn. These same family members who were about to be exposed for taking bribes to spread lies about you. The decision to separate yourself took incredible strength that your enemies underestimated completely. You recognized that staying meant going in circles forever. The same arguments, the same patterns, the same energy drains that kept you from becoming who you were meant to be. So you created space, you stepped back, you chose your peace over their presence. What you didn't know was that this strategic withdrawal would give investigators the perfect opportunity to interview people about your character, without your toxic connections being able to influence their responses. The moment you disconnected, something predictable yet devastating happened, and the evidence of their conspiracy is about to surface in ways that will shock even you. The very people you walked away from couldn't handle your absence with grace. Instead of respecting your decision or taking time to reflect on their own behavior, they immediately launched a coordinated campaign to rewrite the story of why you left. What they didn't realize was that this campaign would eventually become evidence in a legal case that's about to rule in your favor. It was like they had been waiting for this opportunity their entire lives. Since you weren't there to defend yourself, they felt free to paint whatever picture served their narrative. They told anyone who would listen that you were the problem. They said you were mentally unstable, difficult to deal with, someone who just couldn't handle real relationships or family responsibilities. Every lie they told is about to be systematically disproven by the mountain of positive testimony being collected about your character. They convinced themselves that if they could control the narrative while you were gone, everyone would simply believe their version of events. No one would ever hear your side of the story, because you had clearly moved on and wouldn't be coming back to defend yourself. They thought they were brilliant strategists, not realizing they were actually building the foundation for their own legal destruction. The lies grew more elaborate and more vicious over time. They painted you as someone who was jealous, petty, unable to commit to anything meaningful. They questioned your mental health, your character, your motivations for every decision you'd ever made. Some even suggested you had been using people, taking advantage of their kindness while secretly plotting your exit. Each fabrication is now being cross-referenced against testimony from people who actually know you. Meanwhile, your ex-partner was running around town bragging about taking money to spread these lies about you. This person was so proud of their easy money that they couldn't keep their mouth shut. Telling friends at bars, casual acquaintances, even people they were romantically involved with, about how they got paid to ruin your reputation. They thought they were untouchable. They had no idea they were creating a paper trail that would lead directly to their jail cell. Your family members were coordinating with your ex, sharing strategies to maximize the damage to your reputation. They pooled resources, compared notes, and systematically tried to turn your entire community against you. They documented their efforts, thinking they were being thorough. In reality, they were creating evidence that will be used against them in court proceedings that are about to begin. This is where the universe stepped in with the most beautiful plot twist of your entire story. And trust me, the finale is going to be even more satisfying than you can imagine. Someone started asking questions. Maybe it was an official investigation triggered by the financial crimes your enemies committed. Maybe it was someone new who wanted to understand what really happened. Or maybe it was just the natural consequence of too many inconsistencies in their increasingly desperate stories. This investigator, and that's exactly what they were, started reaching out to people who actually knew you, not just the bitter ex or angry family members who felt abandoned, but real people who had witnessed your character firsthand. The list was extensive and damning for your enemies: neighbors who saw how you treated others, co-workers who knew your work ethic and integrity, church members or community volunteers who had served alongside you, former colleagues who remembered your professionalism and kindness, teachers who taught you, bosses who supervised you, friends who had known you for years. One by one, they asked the same types of questions. What was your experience with this person? Did you ever see them behave inappropriately? Were they reliable? How did they treat people when they thought no one was watching? Did they ever lie to you or steal from you? What was their reputation in the community? The responses started a pattern that no one expected, least of all the people who had been spreading lies about you. Every single person had not just positive things to say, but glowing testimonials that painted a picture completely opposite to the character assassination attempt your enemies had orchestrated. The investigator kept detailed notes, and these notes are about to become evidence in legal proceedings that will change your life forever. They were always kind to everyone, especially people who couldn't do anything for them. I never saw them lose their temper inappropriately, even under extreme stress. They went out of their way to help people who were struggling. They were one of the most genuine people I've ever met. What you see is what you get. If they left a situation, they probably had a really good reason, because they don't give up on people easily. They always paid their bills on time and kept their word. I trusted them with my children, my secrets, my business. Never once did they betray that trust. The investigator kept asking, kept digging, expecting to find someone who would validate the negative stories your enemies were spreading. Instead, they found a community of people who respected you, liked you, and couldn't understand why anyone would speak badly about you. Each positive response added another nail to the coffin of your enemy's credibility. The contrast was so stark that the investigator started to suspect something criminal was happening. How could someone with such universally positive character references be painted as the villain by a small group of people? The answer was about to reveal itself in the form of financial records showing bribes and coordination between your accusers. The courthouse of public opinion started shifting in ways that terrified your enemies. The investigator realized they weren't getting a balanced picture from your accusers. They were getting a completely one-sided attack that didn't match up with anyone else's experience of you. The evidence was so overwhelming that legal proceedings were immediately initiated, and your enemies are about to face consequences they never saw coming. The officials handling this investigation started using their own intuition and professional experience. They recognized that when every neutral party speaks positively about someone, but only the people with obvious grudges have negative things to say, the truth becomes crystal clear. They'd seen this pattern before in cases involving fraud, defamation, and conspiracy. Your character spoke for itself through other people's experiences with you. Your integrity was validated by individuals who had no reason to lie for you, no agenda to protect you, no benefit from defending you. They simply told the truth about who you had always been, and that truth was so consistent it became impossible to ignore. What your enemies didn't anticipate was how their lies would actually highlight their own character defects. The more desperately they tried to convince people you were terrible, the more obvious it became that they were projecting their own issues onto you. The investigator started seeing patterns in their accusations that revealed more about them than about you. The investigation expanded to include financial fraud, defamation, conspiracy to commit character assassination, and potentially even stalking charges. Your enemies went from thinking they had destroyed you to realizing they had destroyed themselves. The very actions they took to hurt you became the evidence needed to ensure they faced legal consequences for their crimes. And now, let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to the ones who see the world differently. The silent guardians, the watchful souls, always awake, always vigilant. They don't fit the mold, and they wouldn't have it any other way. While others walk familiar paths, they forge their own, fighting unseen battles, illuminating the shadows. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But if you feel it deep within, you'll know this is meant for you. No masks, no pretense, just truth. The Obsidian Inner Order is here. A place where kindred spirits gather to share wisdom, to connect, to transform. Over 450 strong, united not by conformity, but by purpose. If you're ready, you know where to find us. The link is in the description. If not, that's perfectly fine. Because we're always here, watching over, making a difference in ways unseen. Here's to those who walk their own path, not for recognition, but because it's who they are. Here's to you. Thank you. This vindication isn't just emotional, it's about to become official, financial, and life-changing in ways that will shock everyone who doubted you. There are legal proceedings happening right now that will formally recognize the injustices you've endured, and the compensation package being prepared will exceed anything you imagined possible. The investigation has uncovered evidence of deliberate defamation, financial theft, conspiracy to commit character assassination, and coordinated efforts to damage your reputation and opportunities. You're about to receive compensation that represents more than just money. It's official acknowledgement that you were wronged, and that justice still exists in this world. The settlement being negotiated includes restitution for lost opportunities, damaged reputation, emotional distress, and punitive damages designed to ensure your enemies never try something like this again. The amount is significant enough to change your entire financial situation and give you the freedom to pursue your dreams without worry. This victory will be public enough that the people who tried to tear you down will have to watch you win in the most humiliating way possible. Court records will be accessible to anyone who wants to see the truth about what really happened. The same community that heard their lies will witness your complete vindication through official legal channels. Your deepest wish to be completely free from these toxic connections is about to be granted through legal means that will make reconnection impossible. The energetic cords that kept you tied to people who didn't deserve access to your energy are being cut permanently through restraining orders, no contact clauses, and legal consequences that will keep them away from you forever. The investigation uncovered something even more disturbing and criminal than simple lies, and the evidence is so comprehensive that prosecutors are calling it one of the most well-documented conspiracy cases they've ever seen. Some of your family members had actually created a fund to pay your ex-partner to spread false information about you. They coordinated their attack like a military operation, sharing resources, strategies, and even scripts to maximize the damage to your reputation and opportunities. Your ex-partner, easily distracted by money and short-term gains, took their bribes without considering the long-term consequences or the fact that conspiracy to commit defamation is a serious felony. This person was so proud of their easy money that they couldn't help bragging about it to multiple people across different social circles. They told friends at bars about getting paid to lie about you. They shared details with casual acquaintances about their side hustle of destroying your reputation. They even bragged to people they were romantically involved with about how clever they were for getting money to talk badly about their ex. They shared specific details about taking money to lie about you, thinking it made them seem clever or resourceful rather than criminal. They had no idea they were creating a trail of evidence that would eventually destroy their credibility completely and land them in federal prison. Each person they told became a potential witness in a criminal case that was building against them. The money trail is extensive and damning. Bank records show regular payments from your family members to your ex-partner coinciding with escalated attacks on your character. Text message threads reveal coordination of stories and strategies. Email communications show planning sessions where they decided what lies to tell and when to tell them. They documented their own conspiracy, thinking they were being thorough and professional. Now they're all panicking, trying to convince everyone they told to keep quiet about their admissions. They're running around attempting damage control, begging people not to repeat what they freely shared when they thought there would never be consequences. Your ex-partner is trying to visit everyone they bragged to, offering money to keep quiet, not realizing that witness tampering is another felony charge being added to their case. Their desperation has become almost comical to watch. They're trying to burn evidence that exists in multiple people's memories, attempting to convince witnesses to forget conversations that made them uncomfortable at the time. They're learning the hard way that you can't unring a bell or make people forget the things you said when you thought you were untouchable. The conspiracy included plans to sabotage your work opportunities, interfere with your romantic relationships, and systematically isolate you from your support network. They kept detailed records of their progress, thinking they were being strategic. In reality, they were creating a prosecutor's dream case with documented evidence of premeditated malicious intent. Your ancestors, your spiritual protection, the universe itself stepped in to turn their negative energy back on them, with interest compounded daily. Every spell they tried to cast on your love life, every curse they attempted to send toward your success, every bit of bad luck they tried to manifest for you, has circled back to them, multiplied by their own malicious intent. The spiritual protection around you has been so strong that their attacks couldn't penetrate your energy field and instead ricocheted back to their source. They're experiencing the longest streak of bad luck they've ever encountered, and it's accelerating as the legal case builds against them. Nothing is working out for them anymore. Opportunities dry up just as they seem promising. Relationships fall apart for seemingly no reason. Money slips through their fingers like water. They can't seem to catch a break anywhere in their lives, and they're starting to suspect that their attacks on you have something to do with their sudden misfortune. Meanwhile, you've been protected from all the negativity they tried to send your way by spiritual forces they didn't know existed. Your separation from them created a barrier that their malicious energy couldn't penetrate. Instead of affecting you, their toxic intentions have been redirected back to their source with the full force of universal justice behind them. Now that their world is falling apart, and yours is obviously flourishing beyond their wildest nightmares, they're making increasingly desperate attempts to reconnect with you, and their desperation is about to become evidence in the stalking charges being filed against them. Your ex-partner is trying every manipulation tactic they know, attempting to project grief and longing into your energy field, hoping you'll feel sorry for them as their legal troubles mount. They're trying to convince you that they've changed, that they're ready to commit now, that they understand how special you are and how badly they messed up. They might even be proposing marriage or major commitments, thinking that grand gestures will override the damage they've caused and somehow convince you to drop the legal case against them. They're operating from pure panic, not love. You're completely unmoved by these attempts, and your immunity to their manipulation is driving them to even more desperate measures. Your spiritual growth has made you bulletproof to their emotional terrorism, where once their fake tears or dramatic declarations might have pulled at your heartstrings, now you feel absolutely nothing except perhaps mild annoyance at their persistence. The irony is that their desperation to avoid consequences is creating even more evidence against them. Every attempt to contact you, every effort to manipulate you into dropping charges, every fake apology is being documented and will be used to show the court that they pose an ongoing threat to your peace and safety. You can see right through their sudden change of heart because you've developed the spiritual discernment that comes with healing from toxic relationships. You know they're not sorry for hurting you. They're sorry they got caught and are facing consequences. Their apologies are just another form of manipulation designed to serve their interests, not repair the damage they caused. Your spiritual growth has made you immune to their manipulation. Where once their fake tears or dramatic declarations might have pulled at your heartstrings, now you feel absolutely nothing. You've built yourself into such a strong, self-loving person that their emotional manipulation bounces off you like rubber bullets off steel. They're essentially trying to cast love spells on someone who has become spiritually bulletproof. Your energy is so aligned with your highest good that their attempts to lower your vibration simply can't find purchase. The legal consequences for their actions are about to become very real. Your ex is facing jail time for their role in the coordinated attack on your character and whatever financial crimes they committed in the process. The evidence against them is overwhelming. Between their own admissions to multiple people and the paper trail of bribes and coordination with your family members, they've built their own case against themselves. You're about to watch the person who tried to destroy your life get locked up for their crimes. The energetic cord you've been wanting to cut will be severed permanently by physical separation and legal consequences. This isn't about revenge, it's about natural consequences, finally catching up with someone who thought they were untouchable. Justice is being served without you having to lift a finger or compromise your own integrity. While all this drama has been resolving itself behind the scenes, you've been attracting your real tribe. There's a divine masculine energy coming into your life who recognizes your lightworker status and wants to support your mission. This person is curious about you in the best way, not trying to figure out how to manipulate you, but genuinely interested in understanding your mind, your dreams, your purpose. They see your talent and want to collaborate with you, not compete with you or drain your energy. This is what real love looks like. Two lightworkers recognizing each other and choosing to amplify each other's gifts rather than dim each other's shine. This person appreciates your independence and strength rather than feeling threatened by it. They're coming in fast with communication that will change your perspective on what partnership can look like. This is someone who will balance your energy in the best way, bringing complementary strengths rather than creating more work and drama in your life. You're living in a completely different energetic reality now. Your conscious choice to be happy, to express your true self, and to prioritize your own well-being has created a magnetic field that attracts abundance effortlessly. Every day you're getting back in touch with your inner child, the part of you that knows how to have fun and be playful without apology. You're calling in partners, romantic, business and friendship, who match this elevated energy rather than trying to pull you back down to old patterns. People are watching your transformation and talking about it in the most positive ways. There's good gossip about you spreading through your communities. People are impressed by your glow-up, inspired by your choices, and curious about how you've managed to create such positive change in your life. Your happiness is creating ripple effects that touch everyone around you. The investigators working on your case feel good about helping you. The people who testified to your character feel proud to have known you. Even strangers can sense that you're someone special. You're using your natural talents in ways that serve not just yourself but the collective good. Whether that's through your work, your art, your healing abilities, or simply the way you move through the world, you're making a positive impact that people can feel. The investigator who uncovered the truth about you has become an ally in your mission. They're not just someone who helped you legally, they're someone who recognizes your value and wants to see you succeed. Every time someone speaks positively about you, that energy goes out into the universe and attracts more good things back to you. The same network that spread lies is now spreading truth, and the truth is so much more powerful than their fiction ever was. You have protection you didn't even know existed. The universe has assigned people to your case who genuinely want to see justice done. You're not fighting this battle alone, you have spiritual and practical support working on your behalf. The weirdos from your past can continue to be mad about the fact that everyone loves you, but their anger can't touch you anymore. You've moved so far beyond their energy that their emotions about your success are just background noise you don't even hear. Your abundance is flowing in from multiple directions: financial compensation, new opportunities, genuine relationships, and most importantly, the deep satisfaction of knowing you chose correctly when you walked away from toxicity. The good gossip about you will continue to spread because your light continues to grow brighter. People can't help but notice and comment on the positive changes in your energy, your appearance, your whole approach to life. You've proven that chosen ones don't have to fight every battle themselves. Sometimes the best strategy is to remove yourself from toxic situations and let the universe handle the justice part while you focus on building your beautiful new life. The investigation, the vindication, the legal victory, the new love, the abundant opportunities, all of this is confirmation that you made the right choice when you prioritized your own well-being over keeping toxic people comfortable. Your story is becoming an inspiration to other chosen ones who are still deciding whether they have the strength to walk away from what's hurting them. Your success gives them permission to choose themselves too. Continue ignoring the weirdos from your past. Continue building your beautiful present. Continue attracting the abundance that matches your elevated energy. Your mission as a light worker is just beginning, and the universe has so much more goodness in store for you.